Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now in tune to another episode of Jazz's Tin Food Reviews. Welcome. On tonight's succulent menu, we have a brand that I've never heard of before, actually, and that is Tulip. If you see that. Tulip premium cured chicken breast. Oh, lovely! So let's do let's have a little quick protein carbohydrate check. So typical values per 100 grams. This is a 200 gram can. Protein 20 grams, and carbohydrate 1 gram. Salt 1.6 grams. That seems like quite a lot, actually. So yeah, what I'm hoping is when I open this one is that it's a nice solid mold, which is sort of like the perfect shape of the can kind of thing. Nothing more satisfying than that. So I'll get it open and then stick a fork in, and I'll see if I can draw it out, if you like. Okay, this might be a good one for bodybuilders on a budget, actually, seeing as the protein content seems quite high. I think this cost me £2. 200 grams of chicken breast for £2. I don't know. Is that a barg? You decide. Right, let's spark this one open. No ring pulls today, so we're going to need the Excalibur. Let's pop it in there. Ooh, lovely. And let's start turning this bad boy. A bit noisy, that, actually. Oh, overdid it slightly. It's all right. Ah, bugger. Right, here we go. Oh, straight away I can smell that. It smells like tuna. Get that open. And just as I was hoping, it looks like we got a tasty little mould in there. So look at that, look. Gorgeous. Yes, it looks like there's a bit of jelly surrounding it as well, almost like you get with a pork pie. So let's draw this one out, shall we? So if I stick the fork in at an angle rather than straight in, you know, I don't want the fork to come straight back out again, so let's stick it in at an angle. It does actually smell quite a lot like tuna. Give it a little wiggle to loosen it up. Oh. Right, don't want to budge. Come on, there we go. Oh my days. I have to admit to you, ladies and gentlemen, even a man such as myself is a little bit taken aback by the sight of something quite as horrendous as that. Do you know what it reminds me of, actually? It reminds me of Krang from the Turtles. Get on, Krang. Okay. So, let's have our first nag, shall we? That is quite salty. Very salty, actually. It's quite spongy. Feels like I'm eating one of those sea sponges. But you know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's actually pretty tasty. You know what? It's actually quite worrying how tasty that is. So another little nag. So now that I've had a few nags on it doesn't seem quite as horrific as it did when I first pulled it out of the tin. Let's have a little close up on that. Hopefully the camera is able to zoom in so you can get a good shot on it. But as you can see, there's kind of like the similar kind of textures you would get from an actual piece of chicken. So I don't know whether that's fully mechanically recovered or whether they've grabbed a big piece of chicken breast and just crammed it into the jar and done something with the rest of the pieces, maybe cram them together and shove them in a jar. But there is some, see that? That's tasty, man. That would be nice in a sandwich. That would be very nice in a sandwich, actually. You just chop it up and sort of pull it apart. It's a bit like pulled pork, but chicken. You know what? I sort of wish I didn't make that crown comparison, because that's now all I can think about is crown, and it is putting me off. It is very salty, and I don't know what the quality of the salt like is in this. I don't know what the quality of the salt is like in this. Let's see how many ingredients there are in there. Quite a few. Chicken, 85%. So there's water, salt, sugar, pork gelatin. That must have been all the, oh, just noticed. Don't know if you can see that. That's why it reminded me of a pork pie when I opened it up. Yeast extract. I'm going to slaughter some of the pronunciations on this on these words. I'm not an educated man, as you've probably guessed. Sodium ascorbate, sodium nitrate as a preservative. Do you know what? It's not a massive long list of ingredients. God blimey. Right, so yeah. I don't really know why you'd want to have chicken in a tin, to tell you the truth. I'm just trying to think what would possess a person to buy such a thing. Perhaps if you were on a bit of a budget and you needed some quick protein, but there must be other ways, such as buying a box of eggs. I suppose maybe you could compare this to Spam, like a chicken version of Spam, possibly a chicken version of corned beef. I much prefer corned beef to this, though, I have to admit. I mean, I think the only thing that's probably kept me going is the salt content. But even then, there's too much salt. The salt flavour is a bit overpowering. I'm probably going to end up drinking quite a few glasses of water after eating this bad boy. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. The logical part of me understands that this meal was well and truly horrific. But the Dark Lord in me enjoyed it. It was tasty. It was tasty in the same way that like a hot dog is tasty. It's just basically fat with sugar and salt in it. You know it's wrong, but you enjoy it anyway. And the thing is, you would cover a hot dog up with bread and tomato ketchup, and it would be hot as well. Usually, I mean, I obviously eat them cold sometimes, but you know, in general. I don't know what you would usually have this with. On the front of the tin, there is a salad. Maybe you would chop it up and put it in a salad. Kind of defeats the object of having a delicious salad, though, doesn't it, I suppose? Some of you are probably thinking that. Generally, you sort of associate salads as being a healthy thing. I mean, I don't know how truly unhealthy this really would be. When you think about it, if it's if it's a decent quality of chicken. Really, how unhealthy could it be? I don't know how unhealthy some of those ingredients are. I really do not know. Maybe I need to do some research into that. But yeah, that was tinned chicken breast. I saw it when I was in the big Tesco and I was looking for some new tins to try out. I thought it'd be quite interesting. I think it was interesting. So I'll give it a mark out of 10. I mean, even for me, this was pretty gruff. I mean, like I said, part of me enjoyed it, but deep down, if I'm true to myself, this was a gruff delicacy. Marks out of 10. This is going to be the lowest score so far. This is going to be a 4. Would I recommend it to normal people? No, I probably wouldn't actually. I think I'd probably tell most people to avoid it, to tell you the truth. But yeah, maybe if you're a bodybuilder on a budget, I think it was £2. So maybe that'd be up your street. But is the amount of salt content really good for you? I don't know. Really don't know. Yeah, I'm already feeling the first coming. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next instalment of Jazz's Tinned Food Reviews. Thank you very much.